One night in Miami. Miami in July was a fever dream of heat and salt. I stepped out of the rideshare onto Collins Avenue, the air thick enough to chew, and dragged my suitcase toward the hotel's revolving doors. The Fontainebleau loomed like a white cruise ship washed ashore, all curves and glass catching the late afternoon sun. I was here for a conference. 3 days of panels on digital marketing trends, bad coffee, and forced networking. I told myself it would be good for my career, but mostly I just wanted an excuse to leave Atlanta for a minute. 32, single, tired of the same loop of work and wine, and wondering why nothing ever stuck. Inside the lobby, the air conditioning hit like mercy. Marble floors, chandeliers dripping light, the faint scent of coconut sunscreen lingering on everyone who passed. I joined the check-in line behind a family arguing about dinner plans and a couple already half drunk on vacation. That's when I noticed him. He was leaning against the concierge desk, scrolling his phone, one foot crossed over the other. Tall, broad shoulders filling out a plain white linen shirt, sleeves rolled to the elbow, dark skin, close-cropped hair, beard trimmed neat. He looked up for a second, eyes scanning the lobby like he was waiting for someone who might not show. Our gazes caught. Nothing dramatic, no slow-motion music, just a second where the noise around us dipped and I felt the small jolt of being seen. Really seen. He didn't smile right away. He just held the look, curious, like he was trying to place me. I looked away first, cheeks warming. Stupid. I shifted my weight, adjusted the strap of my bag. When I glanced back, he was still watching. This time the corner of his mouth lifted. Not a full smile, just enough. The line moved. I stepped forward, gave my name to the clerk, answered questions about room preference and late checkout, all the while aware of him in my peripheral vision. When I got my key card, he was gone. I told myself that was that. Up in the room, I kicked off my sandals, opened the balcony doors. The ocean stretched out below, turquoise bleeding into deeper blue. Palm trees swayed lazily in the breeze. I stood there a long time, letting the salt air settle on my skin. I showered, changed into a simple black sundress, hair still damp and curling at the ends. No makeup beyond mascara and lip gloss. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I just wanted to feel like a person again, not a spreadsheet. Downstairs, the lobby bar was already crowded. Live music drifted in. Someone playing acoustic covers of old R&B. I found a seat at the far end of the bar, ordered a glass of rosé, and opened my phone to pretend I had messages. A shadow fell across the stool next to me. Mind if I sit? His voice was low, warm, a little rough around the edges. Barbados, maybe, or St. Vincent. I looked up. Same guy. Up close, he was even better. Eyes the color of dark coffee, faint laugh lines at the corners, a small scar through his left eyebrow. It's a free country, I said. He smiled for real this time. Appreciate it. He signaled the bartender, ordered a neat bourbon, then turned toward me, elbow on the bar. I'm Caleb. Oh, yes, I am Ava. Nice to meet you, Ava. We shook hands. His palm was warm, calloused just enough. The contact lasted half a second longer than necessary. Are you here for the conference? I asked. He shook his head no. Wedding. Friend of the groom. You? Conference? Digital marketing. You know. Thrilling stuff. He laughed softly. Sounds like it. The bartender set his drink down. Caleb lifted it in a small toast. I lifted mine back. We talked easily, not the forced small talk I usually got at these things. He asked what I actually did all day, listened when I explained content strategy and audience funnels. I asked about the wedding. He was a groomsman. Rehearsal dinner tomorrow. Ceremony on the beach Saturday. You from Miami? He asked, lifting his glass. Atlanta, I said, but originally Barbados. His eyebrows rose slightly. Yeah? Born there. Left when I was young, but it never really leaves you. He smiled at that, slow and knowing. I get that. You do? Charlotte now, he said, but I'm from Barbados, too. That explains the accent, I said, tilting my head. He laughed under his breath. You caught that? Hard to miss, I said. He leaned back a little, studying me. Most people don't notice. Most people aren't listening, I said. Something shifted then, subtle but real. His smile lingered longer this time, softer around the edges. Guess I should watch what I say around you, he said. Probably, I replied, or don't. Another smile, this one unmistakably interested. The band shifted into a slow version of Let's Stay Together. Couples drifted toward the small dance floor near the windows. Caleb watched them for a moment, then looked at me. You dance? Depends who's asking. He stood, offered his hand. I hesitated. Not because I didn't want to, because I did. Too much, too soon. I took his hand anyway. He led me to the floor, one hand light at my waist, the other holding mine. We swayed more than danced, close enough to smell his cologne, something woody and clean. You smell good, I said before I could stop myself. He laughed quietly against my ear. So do you. Heat pooled low in my stomach. We didn't talk much out there, just moved together, bodies finding a rhythm without trying. His thumb brushed slow circles on my back. My cheek rested near his shoulder. I could feel his heartbeat, steady and strong. When the song ended, we didn't step apart right away. He looked down at me. Want to get some air? I nodded. We walked out through the lobby doors to the pool deck. The air was still warm but softer now, night settling in. Light shimmered across the water. A few people lingered at tables, laughing. Caleb found us a spot near the railing overlooking the beach. Waves rolled in gentle and constant. We stood side by side, not touching, just watching the ocean. I almost didn't come to this wedding, he said after a minute. Why not? Long story. X was supposed to be my +1. Things ended a few months ago. Didn't feel like celebrating love. I glanced at him. But you came anyway. Yeah. Figured I'd regret it if I didn't. He turned toward me. Glad I did. My breath caught. He reached out, tucked a loose curl behind my ear. His fingers lingered against my cheek. Is this okay? He asked. I nodded. He leaned in slowly, giving me every chance to pull away. I didn't. The kiss started soft, just lips brushing, testing, then deeper. His hand slid to the back of my neck, thumb stroking my skin. I pressed closer, hands on his chest, feeling the warmth through his shirt. When we broke apart, foreheads still touching, he exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for years. Damn, he whispered. I laughed, shaky. Yeah. We kissed again, hungrier this time, my back against the railing, his body solid and warm in front of me. The world narrowed to the taste of bourbon on his tongue, the scrape of his beard, the way his hands moved over my waist like he was memorizing me. Eventually we pulled back, breathing hard. I started. Yeah, he said, but neither of us moved. He traced my lower lip with his thumb, I'm on the 15th floor. I'm 12. He smiled. Want to see the view from 15? My heart slammed against my ribs. I thought about the conference badge in my purse, the early session tomorrow, the safe, predictable life waiting back home. Then I looked at him, really looked, the way his eyes stayed on mine, patient, wanting but not pushing. I took his hand. Lead the way. The elevator ride was quiet. We stood close, fingers intertwined. Every time the car stopped at another floor, we held our breath until the doors closed again. His room was dark when we stepped inside, only the city lights filtering through the balcony doors. He didn't turn on the lamp. We kissed against the door first, slow and deliberate. Then by the window, moonlight stripped across our skin as clothes came off piece by piece. His hands were gentle but sure, learning what made me sigh, what made me arch closer. My name sounded different in his mouth, soft, reverent. Later, tangled in sheets, sweat cooling on our skin, he traced lazy patterns on my back. Stay, he said quietly. I pressed my face to his shoulder. I have an 8 a.m. panel. He laughed softly. Cancel it. I can't. He kissed my temple. Then stay till morning anyway. I did. We dozed, woke, and reached for each other again, slower the second time, like we had all night and wanted to use every minute. Just before dawn, I slipped out of bed to find my dress. He watched from the pillows, hair tousled, eyes heavy. You'll be at the wedding Saturday? I asked, pulling my sandals on. Beach ceremony, 4 o'clock. I smiled. Maybe I'll wander down. He stood, walked me to the door naked and unselfconscious, kissed me long and deep. Find me, he said. I rode the elevator down alone, cheeks aching from smiling, skin still humming. Back in my room, I showered, changed into conference clothes, and sat at the desk with my untouched laptop. The sun had started to climb, pale gold spilling through the curtains. Miami was waking up again, traffic humming, elevators dinging, the soft roar of the ocean steady and indifferent to whatever had shifted overnight. I opened my laptop, then closed it. Instead, I leaned back in the chair and let myself feel it, the echo of his hands, the weight of his body beside mine, the way he'd said my name like it mattered. Not like a pickup, not like a promise either. Just real. I thought about how easily I'd almost dismissed him. A glance in a lobby, a moment I could have explained away as nothing. How many times had I done that before? Chosen routine over curiosity, safety over possibility. By mid-morning, I was sitting in the back of a conference room, badge hanging crooked, half listening to a panel while my phone buzzed in my lap. A text. Caleb, you alive over there? I smiled before replying. Me, barely. You? Caleb, recovering. Thinking about last night. My pulse quickened. Me, same. A pause. Then, Caleb, you coming to the beach Saturday? I glanced at the agenda in my bag, the networking mixer I'd already planned to skip, the flight home Sunday afternoon. Me, I told you I might wander down. Caleb, I'll be the one trying not to stare. I laughed quietly, earning a look from the woman beside me. Saturday came faster than I expected. The beach ceremony was simple. White chairs sunk into the sand, linen fluttering in the breeze. The ocean behind them looked endless, forgiving. I stood off to the side at first, barefoot, sundress brushing my knees. I found him before he found me. He was standing near the groomsmen, jacket slung over his shoulder, sleeves rolled up again. When he turned and saw me, his expression shifted. surprise, relief, something softer underneath. He crossed the sand without hesitation. "You came," he said. "I wandered," I replied. He smiled, the same slow one from the lobby. "Stay after?" I nodded. We didn't make promises, didn't talk about distance or logistics or what came next. We just stood together as the sun dipped lower, his fingers threaded through mine, the ocean breathing in and out like it had all the time in the world. And for the first time in a long while, so did I. Some chances only come once. This one came with salt in the air, warmth on my skin, and the quiet certainty that whatever happened next, I was done letting life pass me by.